All right, everybody, it's Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for Stop Being the Best Kept Secret. I'm one of your co-hosts, Damon Pistolka. That pretty gentleman right over there is Curt Anderson. Today, we're going to be talking about SEO for manufacturers and creating valuable content that connects. I'm excited to get going on this, Curt. Let's hear it.
Damon, happy Friday. How are you, man?
I'm doing okay considering the state of sports in the Northwest right now.
The state of sports, you're still. Hey, now let's flip the script. If you had lost the first two and won the next two, how would you feel?
It wouldn't be a lot different because we're only two. We're even, right? We're even.
But you'd be right. You'd be
right. Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're right. You're right.
Right?
Be right a little bit high, but I honestly, deep inside, my best playoff series in baseball is always going to the last game, always going to the extra innings and winning there. Right. Because, going through it this year, seeing us beat Detroit in 15 innings, right. There is that matching that feeling again in the playoff round would be incredible.
So, that's what the Mariners are doing for you is
they're just
making it happen. Like, they're just playing with them, it's like
making it happen.
Yeah. Little cat, like a cat playing it with their catch,
Yeah, playing with the toy a little bit.
They're just toying with Toronto, and just they knew that you wanted a couple more games, because if they swept them, it would have been boring, right?
Yeah,
so, now what do? You'd have nothing to do tonight, right?
So, yes.
Okay,
but we're moving forward, So today we get to talk about creating valuable content. I think it's one of the things that when you're talking to B2B companies, manufacturers, it's like, well, what do we talk about? What do we talk about? What do we do? And, you look at a large portion of their websites, their content, it's like, oh, we got these great machines and we make this stuff and we do that and we do that. And, I don't really know how much that engages the curiosity of their ideal clients.
Well, and as a matter of fact, you personally produce an enormous amount of content. Just share real quick, how did your journey get started when you started creating a bunch of content?
Well, I didn't even realize that, I didn't even realize how this all works. Right. And then I started thinking about the challenges I had when I was running companies and sharing about those. And I just put myself in that position and about the things that I've learned over the years, I've been seeing applied in companies and also in life, and then just start writing about that. Mm-hmm. And my content is just that simple. And I think that as companies, marketing, it could be a product, could be a service. We really need to understand how to put ourselves in the shoes of the people we help. Mm-hmm. and give them good information.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And so, when you think about, I was talking with a client this morning and we were given different examples where say if you're targeting a nonprofit organization, well, that person at that nonprofit, they have a whole different set of challenges, frustrations, motivations. Like they have to appease to a board of directors. They have to appease to the community. They've got to serve their mission. They have a whole different set of problems than we were looking at a different buyer persona that's, targeting, they're a Fortune 500 company. Well, on a Fortune 500 company, you have a whole slew of different challenges, frustrations. Maybe you're trying to, she's working with CIOs, okay, CIOs. And so, maybe they're answering to the CEO. Maybe someday they want to be the CEO. So, again, those are two such different buyer personas. And understanding that, we use the word soulmate, but understand that soulmate and how do you get content out there that speaks to them? You know what, Dave? So I'm going to give you a couple examples. So this is a dear friend of ours. Remember Lori at Crescend?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see my screen, okay, right?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, Lori is a dear close friend. Both of us, we just had kids that went off to college, so we were commiserating about empty nest syndrome. What a What an interesting journey that is. I don't know who came up with that idea, but she was talking about a bunch of content that she put out. So look at these blog posts. Now if you go to crescendrf.com and you check out their blog posts, they have all sorts of wonderful information. They do a high level. It's like microwave, RF, very technical, solid state microwave technology. Okay. So very niche, very focused, but she has been putting out an enormous amount of content. And she was just sharing like how it's, months later, people are finding this content. People, they're selling to, folks with, PhD, very high technical, a technical purchasing process, but this content opened a door for their clients, their soulmates, to find them. And it was just so rewarding to hear like the process that she's taking to nurture and engage with her clients. Right.
Mm-hmm.
What are your, any thoughts, feedback? What do you think?
I think it's just a great example, right? And everybody from the company like this, where you've got a real technical product to an everyday product, understanding what your buyer really needs to know, valuable information. First of all, it's just like industry information, but then product specific, service specific information about how that helps them and what problems it specifically solves is so important, because we, like in this, I may not know what's going on the screen here, but you can tell these are technical articles that actually would give somebody information that would help them learn more, make a better choice, down that thing. And that's really what we're trying to do with content, is allow these people to educate themselves so they can make the best choice for themselves possible.
Exactly. We always love that line, out teach the competition. Now, remember you and I were just talking the other day about solid state versus magnetron. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah, exactly.
What a great topic right there. But in all seriousness, if you are looking into this, or right here, choosing the right industrial drying technology, effectiveness, speed, and sustainability, like this is high level, great content. And now what our friend Lori did is she was interviewing their internal subject matter experts. These are folks, high level engineers, high level, people with doctorates. And these are top premier information to resonate with their ideal buyer that shows trust. Let's jump into another friend right here. You know these guys, right?
Yep, it's familiar.
It looks a little familiar. So our dear friends at Pedoc, they're in Chicago. They do amazing, incredible work. They do outdoor pedestals. And take a look at some of the content that they've been put out, Damon. So, right here's an example of their product. It's right there, outdoor power done right. And so they've got a little video right here, and it's all sorts of relevant, healthy content, information that speaks to their ideal buyers. They're going after their particular keywords, key phrases, and getting found in search that resonates with a person that has these problems and these challenges. And again, if I click here, they're just putting out an enormous amount of just great, wonderful content. And it's just really exciting to see what an old school manufacturer like this, and when they're committed to connecting with their clients and out teaching the competition. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it really, the dedication like this to helping people make the right decision when it comes to your products or services is not like a click on the Google ads kind of thing. I think that's the first thing that people need to understand. This isn't something that, you and I could set up a Google ads account and we could see more traffic tomorrow.
Right.
But what happens, even when you do that, you get more traffic. But this is the kind of stuff that once someone finds you because of these reasons, in this case, they can really get to know you. And how many people have we talked to that say it's 60, it's 70% of the people want to get 70% of the way. Some people even want to get all the way to the decision that I've looked at everybody and you are the one. And they really want to do that online. So this kind of content is great for more people to find you. And if you're one that says, well, this doesn't really work for me because I do Google ads, it's like, what the heck are you going to give people if they come to your site because of a Google ad? Are they going to go into in a barren desert landscape of, they really can't get informed on what you do, how you do, why you're the best choice for what you do, that's what I think this content is, because it's like this foundational piece. And if you go, okay, we're in search, we're finding the right things, you can add other layers to this, like social and even Google ads or other types of advertising to drive more people here, because they've got to find this content when they get there. Otherwise, they'll keep searching around for others in the industry until they can.
Well, you know what? You're hitting it. Dude, you couldn't be hitting it more on the head, because the thing is, like, let's go back to our friend Lori at Crescend. Very technical, phenomenal information. And, now she does such a great job on LinkedIn. So now what does that buyer do? They scroll down here. They're like, okay, well, who's underneath the hood? So now I can come here and I'm going to jump into their LinkedIn, and I look at their company page, and they're like, gosh, they're putting out some really nice, healthy content here. This looks really good. And then, okay, well, who works there? And so I go here, and, our dear friend Lori, she's doing amazing work. And, Lori's describing to me, like, she got on the call, and the woman was like, hey, Lori, it's awesome that you're here. Love the article that you produced. Great job. She felt like it was, now it's not a cold call. It's like that customer, that lead, that candidate felt like she knew Lori. And she's like, you know what? I feel like Lori understands me. She has my back. And, like, look at how far along the buying process. It's a total game changer, right?
It really is. And this is where I think a lot of people get confused or or think this is like, it's like waking up and going from the couch to the marathon tomorrow, right? It's not that way. Right. It's not. This is a we're getting off the couch and we're going to start training. We're going to start doing this. And it's like you said many times, if you look at the marathon athlete and think, I want to get there tomorrow, we got to think about all the work it takes to get there. And we have to just work on those steps, because eventually we'll be that athlete if we continue to do the right work, like these people doing content like this. But it starts with the first one. And the second one and the third one. And just like physical activity, this kind of activity gets easier over time. And, the processes that we help people discover, and the way that we the things that we've done to help people do it, there's a process behind this that makes it, like you said, a subject matter expert talking about it, turns it into great content.
Yeah. And you know what? And I want to be mindful of everybody's time. We'll start winding down here, but I want to give one more example here. So these are dear friends. They're in Buffalo. This is Truco Machine. Yeah. And I'll tell you, the small machine shop, and they're doing a phenomenal job. And they've just really kicked off their content journey. And what's great is they have such a great, unique niche. They're already starting getting ranking on Google for some of their keywords, because how many people are looking for, like, aseptic transfer port cams, you know what I mean? Lightning mixers. But the thing is, if you are, they target, and here's, I want to, gosh, Damon, I could keep you here all day.
Yeah.
What was really cool about this example here is we had an epiphany when we started diagnosing, like, who their customers were. Well, we could sell to everybody, anybody that needs this part, or, this thing, my pen right here, right? We sat back, we're like, you know what? His clients are like 800 employees or more. Like, it's not 50, it's not 100, it's not even a couple hundred. Like, he's dealing with, like, major manufacturing operations. He's targeting, like, pharmaceutical, food, beverage, that type of thing. And these are folks, like, if a machine goes down for like an hour, you've been on that side of the chute, right, of the fence. It's thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. Like, they can't be down, right? And so the thing is, when we had an epiphany of who his ideal customer was, then, okay, now we can start tailoring that specific content to that soulmate. And he's just thrilled, going this direction. We could, bounce around with a bunch of other examples. I'll close out with this one. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I just think it's so important to take the time to really understand who your ideal customer is. And oftentimes you start down the process, and you can attest to this. You start down the process thinking one thing, but you really go and you go, now that we've looked at it and looked at the detail, this is really the best customer for us, that make the most money, do the best impact with them. And it's really where we need to focus, which is a little different sometimes than where they start.
Yep, I agree. And we'll close out on this. This dear friend, he was just on the show a couple weeks ago. Michael Perry, they're putting out incredible, fantastic content on their website, blogging like crazy, focusing on, like, who is that ideal customer, and the same thing. They had an epiphany on who they're like, hey, we think we should be targeting this. They came together as a group, and when they started like stepping back and just really looking at who their ideal client is, they discovered like there was a sector of I'm going to move this a little bit. Look at these handsome guys. So, they had an aha moment and a discovery where like, you know what? We really don't do that great with this particular crowd.
Yeah.
It's not a sweet spot. They're not happy. We're not happy. Who out there has had, like everybody's unhappy. Well, it was just not a good fit. When you can get your best fit client and think about like, okay, these are our God-given talents. These are our superpowers. This is what we're most passionate about. This is who we help serve the best. Gosh, stay right there. You know what I mean? Just keep crushing it. Figure out to diversify, figure out another service, or like, okay, who's like this ideal customer that we could expand from. So, all right, dude, I'm keeping you longer than I wanted to. Your closing thoughts, words of wisdom as we close out today on how to help with manufacturers crush it with SEO. And that all stems down to putting out incredible, wonderful content. Your closing thoughts, my friend.
I just agree with that. I agree with that. And I think that is, it is well worth your time to really understand your customers' questions, the things they're searching for, and the information they need, and then providing that education for them.
Yep, absolutely. And again, hey, these guys, they must know something because they're on the Inc. 5000 list. God bless them. I hope they made it for 2024. I hope they make it again for this year. So, all right, Damon, why don't we'll wind down. So again, thank you everybody for joining us today. Just quick little session on think about how do you put out great content, and what we talked about. Think about that ideal customer. Think about the challenges, the problems they have. What questions do they have right now? How can you help answer them? And let's stop being the best kept secret. So, Damon, good luck this weekend.
There you go. Well, yeah, we will see how that turns out. But thanks everyone for being here today. And if you got in here late, go back to the beginning. You can get a master class on how some of the B2B tail clients have really been able to implement knowing that ideal customer and then creating great content for them. Curt?
Hey, and let's not forget, man, if they want the best kept secret sauce, where do they go?
Oh, yes. They got our newsletter, Best Kept Secret Sauce. You can go to Curt or I's LinkedIn profile and get it there, or go to the website and sign up for it on the website. Every week delivering the same kind of stuff. And wow, this last week we had the highlight from Wendy Covey and the engineering report that they put out. It's awesome stuff. If you haven't gone there, you should do True Marketing, TREW. Man, there's just stuff that we are so fortunate to talk to so many people and then share our thoughts, share their knowledge. It's just a lot of fun.
Yep. So stop by, check out the newsletter, and jump on Damon's profile. We'll be back here next week with more juicy information. So guys, God bless you. Have a great, amazing, incredible rest of your day, and we will see you soon.
All right. Bye.